This program is sponsored and produced by Let's Talk Hookup. Opinions and offers expressed during this program are not those of Odyssey or 97.3 The Fan. Sometimes they tell some pretty hefty fish stories. We don't know if they're true or not.
And now it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Royal Polaris, the world's finest long-range sports fisher. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. We're in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here right next to the San Diego Landing in Point Loma. And we have a great group here from the Searcher today. Captain Mike Todter and Rachel Bolka are here, and maybe Joshua will make a token appearance later. We'll see what happens, but we're going to have a great show talking fishing here on Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live, and 97.3 The Fan. Take a closer look at the Ford Bronco and the Bronco Sport. You'll see adventure, discovery, and even a little mud. These 4x4s provide the muscle, tech, and durability to go anywhere. Get your ideal combination of power and capability to handle whatever comes your way, whether it's taking something down to the launch ramp or going out in the desert. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealers to check out the new Ford Bronco or Bronco Sport today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Power your boat with Norsk Lithium, the ultimate choice for marine adventures. Our batteries deliver unmatched starting, trolling, and electronics power, packed with cutting-edge technology like Deep Sleep to eliminate phantom draw. Built with rugged BCI-compliant cases, they're designed to handle the toughest conditions on the water. Stay in control with the Norsk Guardian app. Monitor performance, track battery health, and unlock advanced features right from your phone. Charge with confidence using Evotech onboard and DC-to-DC chargers for fast, efficient, and hassle-free power management. Designed for maximum compatibility, these chargers keep your entire system running at peak performance, so you're always ready for the next trip. With a 10 plus 2-year non-prorated warranty, you can trust your batteries to perform for years to come. Our industry-leading warranty ensures you get the most out of your investment. With dedicated customer support if you ever need it. Upgrade your marine power today. Set up your custom system at norsklithium.com or visit Trolling Motor Doctor in Lakewood. Norsk Lithium. No matter where the adventure takes you, we've got you powered.
I believe there is no doubt that the finest sport fishing in the world starts right here in San Diego. This is Captain Frank Lopresti. Our fleet of long-range boats and crew are unmatched, and the Royal Polaris and Shogun are right at the top of the list. Captain Jonathan Yamati and his crew aboard the Royal Polaris are considered to be the finest long-range vessel in the world. From summer bluefin, yellowtail, and wahoo to giant yellowfin tuna, our record is unmatched. The Shogun, under the direction of Captain Rene Monteagudo, has become one of the most popular long-range boats in the fleet. This big, wide, solid riding vessel has gained a reputation for catching fish and treating their customers to an epic vacation on the water. I am so proud of Jonathan, Rene, and the crews on both the Royal Polaris and Shogun, as they have helped me keep the reputation of the premier vessels in the long-range fleet. Come see for yourself. Book a trip on the Royal Polaris or Shogun today. Check RoyalPolarisSportFishing.com or ShogunSportFishing.com, or call Monica or Jen in the office at 619-226-8030.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup, man. What a fun show it is today, having the crew from the Searcher in here, and weather's getting straight, fishing starting to happen. Good timing on this one today, man.
The weather is like 180-degree turnaround here from compared to when we were on the air last week. It's like flat, calm, beautiful. Sun is shining, it's getting warmer, water's warming up, and I hear there are just tons of bait and fish around out there.
I'm ready, man. I was over what was happening. A
lot of coverage too. I mean, been watching the dolphin and all the half-day boats going out catching rockfish this latter part of this week, and I know the rockfish season's been pretty epic on the start there, and Mission Bell's out today.
Yeah,
Captain Cameron's going to be here tomorrow and give us a full report, and Polaris Suprema's out, right?
Yeah, there's both. Exactly. Like things finally kicked off. You nailed it. Rockfish season got off to a rough start with the weather on the opener, but there's boats out and fishing and a couple guys at the islands and the Supreme's out looking for tuna today. I'm sure we'll be hearing about that over as the weekend rolls on. And like you say, just that's been the big thing. We were talking with Mike before things got rolling there. There's just been no consistency to the, this early season weather. It'd get nice for a couple of days, then it would rain, then it would get nice, then it would be cold, then it would be nice, and there was wind. And it looks like we have a really solid stretch to work with here for a while. So
yeah,
let's
we're
go.
ready.
Let's game on.
You ready, Mike?
Yeah, ready.
Yeah, you're gonna go fishing here soon, right?
Yeah, I think our first trip leaves on the 9th of May. So
it's go time.
Yeah, we're getting the boat switched over from our ecology trips, which we just finished up.
How many of those did you do?
We just did 3 this year. Usually we're doing 4 or 5, but we did 3 of them. And like I said, we're just getting the boat switched over, and then I think the guys are all ready to go fishing.
What's involved in switching the boat back from eco trips to fishing time?
Well, we take the bait tank off and put some skiffs on the upper deck there. Use the skiffs to get ashore on some of the islands like San Benitas and some islands up in the Gulf. They're cool trips, but yeah, we take the bait tank off and put some skiffs on.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And now the bait tank's back on.
Bait tank's on. Yeah,
you're almost ready to go fishing.
We are.
How tough is that process? Like, just it's such a integral part of fishing. Like that's just not an easy thing to. It's not like being on a skiff where you just throw the bait tank on or off. Like,
well, actually, Art had it set up really well, so it only takes about an hour to.
Really? You're kidding me? I would have never thought that.
Yeah, to pull it on and off with the crane, and then there's just 4 bolts and some plumbing. And
that's cool.
And we're good to go.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Rachel's here. We're going to put you on the spot, Rachel. Good morning.
Good morning.
Step up to that mic there. And of course, Rachel's the person that you talk to when you call the searcher number, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And
sign everybody in for all the trips. And,
yes. Check everyone in, answer the phones.
Yeah.
Get the permits.
All the
fun stuff.
Behind the scenes
yes.
stuff.
Behind the scenes.
Getting the boats, but a critical part of the whole operation, right, Mark?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And Josh, of course, is your partner.
Yep.
But Josh is now, is Josh a captain or is he just the chef?
He's just the chef.
He's not just the chef. The chef.
Yeah,
chef.
He's very.
But he's
good,
the part of.
so,
He's your partner. He's your owner.
Yeah,
owner with you.
He is.
Yeah.
And whenever you come out, you're gonna have good food.
Pretty important part.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. Like Josh's reputation on that boat has always been so good, and it was so cool when you guys took everything over, knowing that you were going to get to keep that consistency. I mean, everybody always raves about what Josh puts out. So knowing that that's not going anywhere, so rad for the boat.
Yeah.
Now, you guys must be doing a good job because I haven't seen Art and Celia around for a while.
I think they're pretty happy now. But,
yeah. Things are
really
going
cool,
well.
You guys.
So what do you hear? And what do you hear about fishing?
Not a whole lot, like we were talking about, just before we started. No one's been able to get out and go fishing. A few guys out this weekend with the weather. So,
and when things get rolling, what string of trips do you guys have? Like, how does the season get started? And what is things looking like for Searcher?
We typically start. We start May, like I said, May 9th, running 2.5-day trips, 2.5 and 3-day trips. And we did actually just convert one of those trips to a 4-day trip, which we're getting limited load 4-day trip, 18 people.
Wow.
I think that's the end of May.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those limited load trips, Rachel, are super popular, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
People like their own staterooms.
Yeah. So when you do 18, everybody gets their own stateroom.
On 14, you get your own stateroom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There's four of our larger staterooms, which are quite a bit bigger. We go double up
on that.
They're
darn.
big rooms. Yeah.
Right. The ones that normally would hold 6, now you can put 2 in there, right?
Yeah.
But even still, on those 18 trips, I'm sure you're going to have multiple couples or fishing buds and that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah. And that's so you added a 4-day. And now when's the 4-day?
The 4-day is trip number 6. It leaves May 26th and returns May 30th.
Nice. Great timing.
Yes.
And there's room on that one?
There is room.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, there's room on that one. And then there's couple 2.5 days, trip 2 and 4. I think there's some room on. But
the first trip is sold out.
First trip's a charter.
A charter.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I know that just in general, like Pete was saying, those ultra limited load trips you guys do, that's kind of like a specialty thing that Searcher
Yeah.
does.
Those fill up
Crazy
quick, though,
popular, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
Those book out pretty quick.
So what a cool opportunity to sneak on one of those that early
Yeah.
because it was just added, all the 14 passenger trips guys didn't get the jump on that, so there's still a chance to sneak in.
Yep.
Well, last year May was a pretty darn good month too.
Yeah.
It caught a lot of fish.
Yeah, it was some of our best fishing all year.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're all like in that high anticipation, hearing how good the bluefin tuna pen operations, and we get word from from Aaron, with the commercial fleet. Like, I think anticipation is very high. Those guys have had a tremendous year, and there's lots of big fish around.
Yeah.
So I think everybody's really, the prospects sure seem good for us to get rolling here.
And after that great season of yellowtail last year at the islands and around, there's yellows. We know there's yellows around.
Yeah. No, it just needs some good weather and some guys to start running and get some coverage out there.
And that like northern Baja fleet, from San Quintin, above and below, there's some really good yellow fishing down there. So everything bodes well for what's to come. We're just anxious to, Todter said it best. We just got to get the guys out and get rolling.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be quite the season. So tell us, for those of our listeners who may not be familiar with the Searcher, tell us about the Searcher, Mike.
Well, it's
pretty iconic boat.
Yeah, iconic.
A lot of history behind it.
Yeah.
Captain Bill Poole, of course, built the boat.
Yep.
It was the Cape Polaris originally.
Yep. And then Frank Presti owned it and sold it to Art Taylor, who for 40 plus years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
40 plus years on the boat. And then
Art Celia had it for 40 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And he hired me, I don't know, eight years ago or something. And started training me. And then, like you said, Josh and I took it over 2 years ago, and
has it been going so far?
it's been going great. Yeah,
Yeah.
Awesome.
You guys are keeping the trips pretty full,
Yeah.
catching a lot of fish.
Yeah, no, we have a great core group of regulars that came that have been riding the boat for however many years with
Well,
Art.
it's such a great boat.
It's so unique too. That boat is just so comfortable. That double plank mahogany, like it just rides so different than so many other boats that are in that class. It's so soft in the water. You don't jar around like some of the other boats. And in big weather, it's very comfy and it drifts so nice. That boat is so unique. It's just in a great, it's so unique to what our fleet is. It's such a great riding rig. I love it.
And you catch fish.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, right? That's the most important thing. And bait capacity and also fish capacity is huge, right?
Yeah. So in the fall we do 7 and 8 day trips. So there's we had enough bait to run a 7 or an 8 day trip, and I think since I've been there, we've only filled the boat up all the way once. So
Wow.
that was Guadalupe. So
do you have spots available on those fall trips?
we do. We do. There's a handful of spots open, spread out through September through November.
Wow.
We had epic yellowfin fish and yellowtail.
Oh
fish
my
down
gosh,
there.
last year?
Yeah, it's
How was that
Unreal.
last year? Like that as an operator, that had to be one of the coolest
so
things.
much fun.
Just knowing when you untied from the dock, like the best grade of yellowfin we've almost ever had up this far, and it seemed like it bit trip after trip every time.
Yeah, 70-pound fish, as many.
So
as you want.
cool.
Yeah. For
Fun.
week
It was
after
fun.
week
Yeah.
after week after week.
Almost like if there was such a thing, it was almost too good.
Yeah.
Like you could,
Gotta space it
if
out.
a guy really wanted to, you could get completely fixed up on the first day and then decide how you have to
Yeah.
fill the rest of the trip. That's a Cadillac.
So then
problem.
what?
Yeah, exactly.
Captain's dilemma, right? Okay, we
Yeah.
had fantastic fishing the first day. Now what do we do, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do? Like if you
How did those trips go? Totally.
Yeah.
Give us a rundown of what a killer fall trip was last year.
Like especially in November, that there was a good fish above Benitez and west of Benitez. That good grade yellowfin and mixed in. There were 150, 200-pound bluefin mixed in.
So rad.
So we're drifting, picking on those, and then you try to catch a few of those cows in the dark, and then go down the beach, fish yellowtail, or go out to the rocks for a couple days. From Benitez, you can go any direction. Really, there's a lot of different options. You know?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. The yellowtail, yellowfin, grouper, all that kind of stuff, right?
All that good stuff.
I know that fishing was fun, and hearing guys that fished on board the Searcher last year, it sounded like you kind of got to pick the way that you wanted to catch them too. If you want to throw a popper, they'd bite that. If you fished heavy line, they'd bite that. If you fished it.
Yeah, we ended up, just tying a popper on like one of our kite rods, and you just cast it right behind the boat, and when it hits the water, you get bit.
That's so cool.
All right.
Yeah, as good as it gets.
Yeah. Well, as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for today. So much to talk about with Mike and Rachel and the Searcher. Such a great boat. I've spent many days on the Searcher fishing on that fantastic platform, and look forward to many more for sure. And you should get on the boat for sure. And, and we got a great prize to give away too today.
Yeah, you're not kidding. We just today's going to be a great show and a lot of fun, and we're so stoked to have Captain Mike in here. And again, this is like the beauty of the beginning of the preseason is Mike's on the boat running all the time. So it's so rare to get to have somebody with his talent in the studio, hanging out, talking fishing with us for the next couple hours. And we want to talk to you, man. If you want to join us this morning, give us a call and let's talk hookup at 833-288-0973. Again, 833-288-0973 is how you reach us on the
phones are working
here
today
on the fan this morning. Yep, we're excited and standing by, taking your phone calls. So we're pumped for that. Or again, as always, you can send us a text. The text the show option, so popular here on Let's Talk Hookup. Now, if you want to send in a text, the only way you can do that is through the Let's Talk Hookup app. If you don't have it already, you should totally download it. It's a free download. No BS, no spam, no nothing. You just get to listen to Let's Talk Hookup. You can listen live. You can listen to all the archive shows. If you missed last week's show and you want to follow up, it's super easy to pop in and listen to all the past shows. And it's the only way you can send in your text questions to Mike and Rachel this morning. When you do, make sure you include your contact info. Just like Pete said, at the end of the show today, we're going to be giving away a killer prize. And how that is decided is with the coin flip. We have the prize coin at the end of the show. We're going to have Rachel flip it, and that'll designate whether the winner is a caller or a texter at the end of the show. And somebody is going to win a very cool prize. They're going to win a selection of the brand new Osea Sardine Waver jigs. It's a really cool slow pitch jig from Shimano. Really, really cool
really
prize
one of the
pack.
hottest deals, man. Talk about you've heard a lot of the Shimano guys talking about it, doing seminars at the PCS show, and they're just so red hot on that Osea jig from just Shimano, that slow pitch jig. It's the hot new deal.
Yep, no doubt about
Rockfish, bluefin, yellowtail, the whole thing.
Yep.
Osea jig. We're going to give away a little package of those today.
Yeah, to one lucky caller or texter again.
Worth like $100.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
That's a killer pack. Again, if you want to get through, it's 833-288-0973, or send us those texts on the Let's Talk Hookup app. And when we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls, reading those texts. Lots of great info coming your way. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, and Facebook Live at 97.3 The Fan. Everyone has their go-to fishing spot. My spot is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. Rock Cod Rick here to say if you're looking for the ultimate Alaska experience and the best value in Alaska, it's Kingfisher Charters. Owner Seth Bone and his crew consistently deliver deluxe accommodations, the finest food, world-class fish processing, and top-of-the-line fishing experience. We've literally sent hundreds of our listeners to Kingfisher, and they all can't wait to go back. Most Alaska resorts make big promises, and they don't deliver, or they'll nickel and dime you to drive up the cost, but not Kingfisher. Everything is included. Your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, your gear. Literally all you need to bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. They also have the finest boats and charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. Take it from me. Book your trip to Kingfisher Charters and you'll thank me. Kingfisher Charters. 800-727-6136 or check kingfishercharters.com.
Here's the hot tip on the best fishing LA has to offer. 22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro. They are home to LA's finest open party fleet, including overnight on the Freedom, Catalina Freelance on the Pursuit, half-day trips on the Monte Carlo, and three-quarter-day trips on the Sea Angler. For your own private charter, we have the Outrider and Trueline available. There's always plenty of free parking and a fully stocked tackle store. 22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro. Call 310-832-8304 or on the web at 22ndstreet.com.
For your
next fishing adventure, check Point Loma Sport Fishing. They offer half-day and full-day trips daily, perfect for families and the novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips, targeting the best of seasonal catches. Visit PointLomaSportFishing.com, where you can purchase tickets online and get more information on the trips available, or call 619-223-1627. Want to go fishing? Point Loma Sport Fishing has you covered.
Whether you're boating, floating, paddling, fishing, or just chilling, remember a good day on the water always starts with everyone wearing life jackets. Save the ones you love. Life jackets save lives. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup again. Having a great time here this morning. Phones are getting packed up. Same thing with the text. It's going to be a busy show today. Again, if you want to get through, 833-288-0973, or send us a text on that Let's Talk Hookup app.
Yeah, for sure. Some great texts rolling through and some good phone calls coming through, too. Let's go ahead and start with phones, Rick.
Yeah, you got it, man. How about we start off this morning with John? He's called us from Colorado Springs. Is going to get us started this morning. What's up, John? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning. I'm all pumped up. My question to Rachel is, my granddaughter works with me in the garage, changing out my hooks and split rings and all that. She's 3 years old, and she's so into fishing. Would one of those trips be good for me to bring my 3-year-old granddaughter?
What do you think?
Probably not.
It's a little she's a little young.
Yeah, a little bit too young, I think.
Yeah. What do you think is a good age?
I think the youngest person that's fished on the boat is 11 years old.
11.
Yes.
Because it's you got to figure it's a multi-day trip, and you got to want to first take them out on like a half-day trip, see 3/4 day trip, then maybe try an overnight trip after that.
Yeah.
Day and a half, and kind of work your way up to, because your shortest trip, Rachel, is 2.5 days.
A day and a half.
A day and a half. Okay.
Yes.
Well, of course you do the Let's Talk Hookup day and a half.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, of course. But hey, yeah, give it a little more time, John.
Searcher's a boat that, like, we get asked that question in the store all the time, and like the Searcher's the boat that I usually refer people to that are wanting to have their, bring their kid, bring the son and daughter fishing for the first time. Like, I just feel like you guys do one of the very best jobs in our fleet of like tailoring personal attention. The vibe is always very mellow. It's not too extreme. And like, it's just always been the boat where like you guys seem to take extra care of somebody that's, like a new fisherman starting, that kind of thing. Like the reputation has always been there. It was sure there with Art, and, and it definitely carries on with Mike and Josh. And I just, it's always been like when somebody comes through the tackle store asking that, Searcher's where we always tend to send everybody.
Yeah, definitely. So Josh,
yes,
welcome.
Hi.
You make it? All right. You're seeing Josh here on YouTube now, as well as Rachel and Mike. Thanks for coming. And Josh, what's it like being an owner now? I mean, you've been on the boat for a long time. I've eaten many of your delicious meals, and you're a phenomenal chef. How did that change your life when you became an owner?
It hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've done a lot of things in my life that's been challenging. And, it's just another challenge, and you got to just try to do your best and make sure you do your best. So
sure,
that's the goal for me for right now.
Yeah. How did you become a chef on the Searcher?
Actually, I was the chef on the Independence before that. And then Michael called me over and said, come work with me. And I did.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
And now you own the boat.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Pretty big change. So
yeah,
but hopefully, we'll come together and we'll do our job, and everyone, do a good job for everybody.
I'm sure. Well, what's your favorite thing to cook on the boat?
Ooh, grouper.
Grouper? A little fresh grouper.
Yeah.
Tell us how you cook grouper, because I love grouper.
It all depends. Just like the easy kind of way to make sure you don't overcook it, it's like panko or breading it and stuff like that.
Oh.
And then another way is just grilling it really hot and then throwing it in a hot oven for like 5 minutes, and you pull it out and let it rest, and you got a perfectly
So you grill it first and then finish it in the
just
oven?
kind of do like get a crust around it and make it the opaqueness kind of go away till it's all white and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For the most part.
That's without a crust or anything.
That's without a crust. You can just olive oil, salt, pepper, basically, and then play with it from there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is it hard to overcook grouper, or you can like any fish, you can still overcook it?
You still overcook it. I've seen people overcook it.
Yeah, but it is a delicious.
Yeah, it's a delicious fish.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
It's cool. What do you serve sides with it? What kind of sides? You serve?
Anything you want.
Anything.
yeah, it all works. Just depends on what it is. Mashed potatoes is the easy one to go through.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can scallop potatoes, anything.
Lots of good stuff.
That's the beauty of fishing where you guys do on the Baja Coast is that's a special fish, but it makes its way onto the menu more often than not.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Delicious. Yeah, definitely. We have great text here. You want to get through on the phones? Jeff standing by at the fan. 833-288-0973. The lines are working this week, which is great. 833-288-0973. Open right now. Great text from Josh here. Your compadre there, Tocayo, as they say in Mexico. I saw that there was a room on your Let's Talk Hookup 2-day trip, June 30th. And so me and 3 of my buddies booked it. It seems too good to be true that there's a spot on such a prime date. Is it an offshore fishing trip, or did we just sign up for a 2-day rock cod fishing trip? Thanks, guys. See you soon. Mike?
No, yeah, that'll be
That's
offshore.
2-day.
Offshore, looking for bluefin or yellowtail or whatever's available at that point. But no, it'll be a offshore trip.
Yeah, at the end of June.
Yeah,
it's hard to miss on that one, right?
Prime time.
Yeah, and Rachel, I believe there's one spot left on that. On the 2-day Let's Talk Hookup trip.
2-day. No, that is actually completely booked.
Oh, it is the 2-day Let's Talk Hookup.
Yes.
And then we also have a Let's Talk Hookup trip, a 1.5-day trip maybe that's where I saw
that one's got a few spots.
That's got a few spots open. All right.
Trip number 39.
All right. Very good. Hey, look who's on the line, Rick.
I can't see from there. But...
Oh, it's Captain Frank.
Hey, all right.
Good morning, Frank.
What's up, Frank?
Hey, Frank.
Good morning, Frank.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Well, we're having a great time with the crew from the Searcher in here, but yeah, anxious to hear what's going on. And yeah, great morning so far.
Well, good morning, you guys. Well, I don't have good news, darn it. Aliar left yesterday morning early at 7 a.m. and got out there and started seeing really good water and bait at about 40 miles, and all the way out he had water temperatures up to 61.5, which is really good. And he got to the 2 purslingers that left from Ensenada, went out to where they were catching fish just 2 days before, or 3 days before on Monday. And with 2 airplanes and 2 helicopters in the air, no sign of fish anywhere. And Aliar, I talked to him at midnight last night. He'd seen only 1 bunch of fish, which was what he called just a small wolf pack. And so that's the report so far. So he's got all day today and all day tonight. We'll keep our fingers crossed and hope things that it's the typical bluefin tuna act. They were there and they disappear, and they do that all the time.
Sure. And the weather's been up and it needs to settle down a little bit, right?
He said the weather's beautiful. He said it was really nice weather. But yes, that was the first day it was that way. So that's probably part of it, Pete. The only other thing I wanted to report is that the Shogun is leaving tomorrow morning. So if somebody's interested, they only have 13 passengers. It's a 2-day bottom fishing trip, lingcod, reds, rockfish. If anybody's interested, they can book online. Like I said, there's only 13 people, and they're definitely going.
Wow!
And that leaves tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. So they'd have to be there at 6:30 if anybody is interested in going out and getting some really nice lingcod. The lingcod fishing has been fabulous. Max on the Pacific Voyager just got back in yesterday morning from a charter, and he had limits of lingcod up to 20 pounds.
Ooh, 20 pounds. And
yes.
And so also Captain Cameron's out on the Mission Bell this morning at the Islands and searching around. Let's hope he finds something. Huh? Yeah.
that's exciting. His first trip on his new boat.
Yeah.
So that's very exciting.
And of course,
Yep,
the
and
local
that's-
rockfish fishing's been fantastic since the season opened, right? We just needed the weather, and we finally got it, right?
Yeah, we're finally getting some weather. Let's hope it stays that way, and we'll just keep our fingers crossed that things start showing. It's definitely, I would say a week to 10 days late from where it started in the past. So see what happens. There's sure reports of a lot of fish down below. So hopefully soon coming, Pete. That's all I got to report. Okay?
We're ready. You ready, Mike?
Ready.
Yeah, we're all ready here. All right, Frank.
morning,
we
Mike.
appreciate it. Yeah,
Morning, Frank.
yeah, great to hear from you, and appreciate you calling and giving us the update, Frank.
And by the way, congratulations to Mike.
Thanks, Frank.
That's right. Getting married.
That's right.
Yeah, congratulations,
That's cool, buddy.
Mike. Yeah, pretty exciting.
you.
What,
Yeah.
a couple of weeks, right?
3 weeks, yeah.
3 weeks getting married.
25th.
All right,
That's
and then you get on the boat.
Yeah.
What a great honeymoon for your wife, huh?
Yeah, I hear there's a spot open on one of those 18-day trips.
All right. Thank you, you guys.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Frank.
buddy.
Appreciate the call this morning. You have a great
I
text.
thought
huh?
so. It says, good morning, guys. What a great show already. My question is for Captain Mike. It says, with the common bluefin bite being at nighttime on jigs, do you find that when the daytime bite is slow, the nighttime bite is better, and vice versa? When you have slow nighttime fishing, do they tend to bite bait better in the daylight? That was all from Matt from 626 area code.
It kind of not really like a rule of thumb for that. I think they're fish, it's I guess sometimes when you see them at night, you don't catch any. There may be
You could have one without the other and vice versa.
Yeah, exactly. Or you could have both.
Yeah, yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, usually it seems like there's some sort of bite window, whether it's day or night, throughout a 24-hour day or whatever, and sometimes it's bigger and sometimes it's more than one. But it's kind of hard to put a rule on that. Or
Sure.
anything. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Hey, if you want to get through on the phones, 833-288-0973. Jeff at the Fan is standing by. I want to remind you, we heard the Kingfisher Charter spot. There's 4 spots left on
I was
Kingfisher
shocked when I heard you say that earlier.
on
Yeah,
our trip. You're going?
totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a trip we've done every year. It's kind of primo time of weather year for fishing in Southeast Alaska and Sitka.
The best.
And it is that is the spot to get to do it. You get all
Unheard of to hear spots open there.
I was gonna say it is. We have never gone in this. I think is my 25th or 26th year in a row.
7th year.
And it has never not been sold out in 27 years.
Yeah.
So and again, I'm sure that it will. I'm sure that this one will by the time it comes too. But I'd much rather be with some buds. So
Sure.
yeah, let's all go. It's
You and Dallas are going?
Yep. Yeah.
And we have a great crew of people that are already going, but actually 4 spots opened up. June 15th through 20 leaves Father's Day Sunday.
Right.
And you fish Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then back on Thursday. So, and it's the best value of any trip, period, in Alaska.
And if you want, you kind of get to check all things Alaska off the bucket list. Kingfisher is just really tremendous fishing. A typical day starts out trolling for salmon, and you often, there's never a guarantee in it, but it's pretty close to it. You often are lucky enough to get limits of salmon for the boat for the day, and then after that, you go out and do some shallow water rock cod fishing and have that killer fishing on all your shallow water cods and those big giant ling cod that you see, and then anchor up a little bit deeper water and fish your big giant halibuts, and then come back inside and have some killer hors d'oeuvres and a great dinner and do it all over again day after day. It's a really cool experience.
Yeah. So if you want to go, check front page of our website, letstalkhookup.com, click on the Kingfisher banner, or just kingfishercharters.com or 800-727-6136. Let's jump back on the phone.
You got it, man. How about this time we talked to Don? Don's called us from Woodland Hills this morning. No stranger to the searcher. Good morning, Don.
Oh, Ricky, you know me way too well. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Don.
So, Mike, congratulations, buddy. Look forward to hearing about the wedding in June when I come down for my first trip of at least 3 this year.
Wow.
My question is, what is the most common thing that anglers leave at home? on a trip?
It's a good question. Like, what do they forget?
Yep.
Yeah,
That is a good question.
That's a good question. Now, I know you're not going to forget your camera, Don. I know that for sure
Yeah.
because you take some
Towels.
pretty fabulous pictures.
Exactly. I was just waiting for that, but I know what I hear about the
Yeah.
tackle store all the time. Towels.
Yeah, most common. I mean, we've had guys that have forgot their reels, guys that have forgot the rods and reels.
What happens?
Oh, you know, we have on the boat we have like a whole arsenal of loaner gear that anybody that comes on the boat can use. You know, seeker rods, pen, and accurate reels. You know, anything from a 30 wide on a 2x4 to a 20-pound bait rod, whatever.
So you don't. So what if you want to go on a long range trip? Somebody listening to us that never. You don't need to bring anything. You guys provide all the gear.
Yeah. You don't need to bring any rods.
That's the cool thing about it is that you could be a total novice, not have any of the gear. You have all the gear set up for you.
And some of that big fish tackle is expensive, and it's something we hear about it in the store all the time. It can hinder a guy from maybe booking a trip because when Mike's on that big fish and it takes a 100-pound outfit. If you're wanting to go buy that reel, I mean those outfits you're talking about, it's $1,500, maybe even $2,000, and that doesn't need to be what stops a guy from booking a trip because you guys can provide that tackle, right off the bat.
Yeah, we have great sponsors who give us deals on that sort of stuff. So we have it for people.
That's really cool
around you. So
I'll throw one more in there. That, again, we're ground zero at the tackle store. Another one that people forget all the time that you just don't think about are your boots. And I can't tell you how many.
Oh, is that right?
I can't tell you how many people have bought a pair of boots going I don't want to do this. I got a brand new pair sitting at home in the garage, but I forgot them. And the last thing you want to do is be on the boat for 4 days and not have them. So boots is another one that just.
I have forgotten my towel before.
Yeah,
that happens a lot. I'm sure.
Yeah. Drying off with your dirty T-shirt, man. Turn that thing inside out. You'll be fine.
Towels, and I guess we'll go towels.
Yeah.
So if somebody doesn't have the tackle, Rachel, do they tell you ahead of time when they're booking the trip? Hey, I don't have any tackle.
Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
Let
Or
you know
I ask
so you can
them
get 'em
if they
set
need
up.
loaner gear.
Yeah.
So, and if we have it, we provide it.
Now, is there a charge for the loaner gear?
No.
No
It's free of
charge.
charge as long as we have it on the boat.
That's like, that's
Yes.
pretty
That's
cool.
so cool, you guys.
Yeah, that's really nice. So it's all part of the
whole
searcher
package.
experience.
Whole
Yeah.
package.
Yeah. What is not included in a trip on the searcher?
Beers.
Beers.
Beer.
We have beer.
Yeah.
But that's
beer,
about it,
soda,
right?
Yes.
water, that kind of thing.
Yeah, actually, one of our sponsors, I guess you'd say, Knee Deep Brewing Company, Rich Denile, he brings us cases of beer, and so if you come on one of the Knee Deep Brewing trips,
They provide the beer.
yeah, it's a free
Knee
beer.
Deep
That's cool.
Yes.
Yeah, and then that's primarily what we have in the beer box too. So
Yeah, correct.
Oh, no
shout out
kidding.
to Rich.
Yeah, shout out to Rich.
That's cool.
Hi, Rich.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah. You have another great text on Rich.
Thought so. Yeah. Let me pull it. Fire right back.
Yeah.
Here, sure.
While you're looking for that, I got to remind you so many big events coming up. Of course, we have the big Anthony Shea dinner honoring our friend Dave Pfeiffer from Shimano on May the 1st. Still a few tables available. I know we're going to be there.
Yeah, I'll be up there.
It's Thursday, May 1st up in Long Beach. And it's going to be such a great event. And you want to make reservations, just visit ccacalifornia.org and jump on that. And then another great event, and I can't believe how this is sneaking up on us. Okay, is the am I reading this right? The 55th annual
How cool is that?
Southwestern Yacht Club Anglers Bottom Fish Tournament, Saturday, May 26th.
55 years in a row.
55 years.
We the tackle store, we did kind of like a seminar talking about bottom fishing for the bottom fish tournament. And you don't have a tournament for 55 years that successful without being crazy well run. And that is like the best time. It don't get me wrong, it is competitive and those guys are so good, but it is not like the pump your chest, I'm the best tournament. It's so low key. It's a great time. There's everybody has breakfast beforehand and then they go. You go out, you have a rad day of fishing, you come back. Hopefully you catch a bunch of big fish. Hopefully you win the tournament, all those things. But then afterwards, all the fish is cut. They do a big giant fish taco, fish fry that night for everybody. The awards banquet happens like after the tournament. It's so cool. It's just
So
local
cool.
in town. open to the public. You don't
Yeah.
have to be a member of the
Nope.
yacht club to fish it. It's so cool.
Pretty reasonable, and a great group of guys too. Phil's Barbecue is a big sponsor this year of it, but 100% of the proceeds this year from the raffle and the event go to Captain Morales Kids at Sea.
Right.
So to take kids fishing. So Saturday, April 26th. Scott Sherman's been a big supporter of that. Shotguns start at 6:30 a.m. and then wait a minute here. It says sailboats at 6 a.m. So they're gonna have a sailboat division. So sailboats get to start early, and then the weigh-in is at noon to 3:30. I guess Southwestern has a lot of sailboats,
Yeah,
so
true.
you can fish from the sailboat, go rock fishing. So if you want to go, check their website. They have a great website. On this thing, I'll look it up here, but it's ISSW. I'll find out what it is, but they have a great place where you can just. They have a QR code on here, but they didn't put their website. So I'll find out what the website is, and we'll get that to you.
While we're
You
doing
can
that
actually
too-
sign up on their website.
And I'm almost certain you do not need to fish in the tournament if you want to go and participate in the raffle and and go afterwards. I believe you can also go and just buy in and do the dinner and raffle and awards afterwards too. It's just a cool event and really cool people, and the money goes to a rad cause. They are able to raise a bunch of money for different charities over the years, and I believe this year everything's going to Friends of Raleigh, which is really cool.
Yeah. It's okay. It's SWYC, so Southwestern Yacht Club, SWYCanglers.org.
There it is.
So check that out.
Well, hey, I had a great text from DJ in San Diego. It says, this is always my favorite show, having the team searcher on board with you guys. My question was a little bit about the boat and what makes it different from others. You talked about the ride. I was curious if you've driven other boats and how a wood boat fishes differently, how she drifts, and what makes a searcher so great when fishing for bluefins.
As far as driven other boats, no, but I think the like Rick talked about, the wood boat that kind of softens the ride a little bit. So especially driving around at night or whatever, you're not a lot of the big heavy metal boats that slam, and if it's choppy, it kind of the fish don't really like that. But
yeah. How about drifting? Is she a stern first, bow first?
Stern first. Yeah, stern first typically is the way. Well, most of these boats drift, not all of them, but yeah, it's a nice drift, stern first.
It's just so comfy. The boat it's not real rocky rolly as some are, and like you say, in that choppy condition, like the entry back into the water it's just soft. It's great. I love it. I love that boat.
Josh, you like to get out on the deck and fish a little bit?
Oh yeah, I'm out on the deck.
Yeah, you're out on the deck.
Yeah.
You're not going to sit behind the grill the whole time, right?
No, I gotta get out of my cave sometimes.
Get a rod. Get a rod in your hand.
Yeah.
Catch dinner.
Get a gaff.
Yeah.
He's got his staterooms down in downstairs where he stays with all the supplies and stuff. He's got this little porthole window, so when they're biting in the middle of the night and we need some help, I just go bang on the window.
Get up!
We call it the doorbell.
Yeah.
That's fun. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming right, including more of your phone calls and texts. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on Facebook, YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan. When you're offshore fishing, the right gear makes all the difference, and that includes Fujinon stabilized binoculars from Baker Marine. Baker Marine has been selling binoculars for decades, and more importantly, they service all the brands right there at their San Diego Shelter Island location. Need the best? The Fujinon Staboscope is the professional's choice. Looking for top-tier stabilization at a great price? The Fujinon TechnoStabi TSX 1440 delivers rock-steady vision even in rough waters, perfect for serious anglers. Baker Marine is the largest Fujinon retailer on the West Coast, and when you buy from them, they'll be there for you when your binoculars need service. Go see Anthony and the Baker Marine crew at Day at the Docks, Sunday, April the 13th, or stop by their store on Shelter Island in San Diego and test a pair of Fujinon binoculars and see which one is right for you. The fishing season is here, and you need a pair of stabilized binoculars, so go get them from the experts at Baker Marine. Learn more at bakermarine.com.
Hey, this is Rosie with Cedros Sport Fishing. We have always been the leader with all-inclusive fishing trips to Cedros Island. We now have 2 lodges to choose from and both sit on the cliff's edge with relaxing ocean views and gorgeous morning sunrises. With direct flights departing to the CBX in San Diego, we are committed to providing first-class service to our guests and an unforgettable fishing experience. Come check out the yellowtail and calico bass capital in the world. Nobody does it better than Cedros Sport Fishing. Call me at 619-772-7570 or check us out at cedrosportfishing.com. Book soon. Trips are going fast.
Hi, this is Christy Wheeler with Dawson and Associates Insurance, your full-service agency specializing in boat insurance, including charter, commercial, and personal use boats, business insurance, and travel insurance. We work hard to get you the most coverage for the best prices and guarantee the lowest rates available on all the travel plans we offer. So give us a call today at Dawson and Associates Insurance at 619-460-5615 for a free quote today.
Have you been looking for a live bait hook that keeps live bait alive? Look no further than Japan's leading fish hook, Gamakatsu. It's the little things that make the difference, and Gamakatsu hooks drive the point home. With an absolute perfect bend and ideal barbs, your bait swims harder and longer. And when you get bit, Gamakatsu hooks bite back with a vengeance. All hooks are not the same. Go with Gamakatsu for infinite success. Gamakatsu, simply the best. Check gamakatsu.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Okay, having a great time here this morning, and we're talking about biting fish. It's time to find out what's biting on the water right now. It is time for the catch report, and today we got Marcos from C4 standing by, and we want to, as always, that report is brought to us by our friends at Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena. It is the place to fill up your car, your truck, or your boat with the lowest in gas and diesel prices. Also, did you know that Summit is the place for the lowest prices on ice and snacks for your trip? Over 40 snacks, all for 89 cents. And you can get their killer burritos and sandwiches that are made for your trip. They're made fresh daily, every day, those burritos and sandwiches. They make them every day.
They're really good.
Yeah, they're killer.
Tested them out this week.
Ice is nearly half the price of the other places at only $3.99 for a 25-pound bag.
25-pound bag.
You get 100 pounds of ice for free with a 35-gallon fill. It's Summit Gasoline, free ice for Let's Talk Hookup listeners, and always the lowest prices at the San Diego Sports Arena. The other one that you showed me this morning that I was blown away with is that like fishing spots chart. Yeah. It is a killer chart. Quick reference to, like, you know, when you hear Todter talking about fish on the 302 and the 471.
Has all the map of all that, and then all the Latin lawns on the back.
At a gas station. And how much is that when you buy it? When you buy
$2.
That's unreal.
And it's weatherproof.
Yeah, those guys are
It's
killer.
weatherproof. So $2 for a fishing hotspot map that normally sells for $20.
$21.95.
$21.95 is $2 at Summit Gasoline.
You're rad,
just
man.
with any gas person.
Yep, pretty cool spot at Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena. With that said, let's find out what's going on. We got Marcos from C4 Sport Fishing on the line. Good morning, Marcos.
Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing?
Doing great. How's it going there?
I think we've had some steady weather for the last few days here, and we've gotten some boats out, so that's a win in our books there, and there's actually been some decent fishing. The new C4 is back to fishing locally for those rockfish, and yesterday, morning trip, 125 rockfish for 27 guys, afternoon, 45 rockfish, 10 reds, 40 whitefish, couple sculpins. So about what you'd expect at this time of the year when that rock fishing opens back up. Really good fishing there. And kind of the plan has been the morning they've been fishing deep, afternoon fishing a little shallower, looking around to see what else they can find, and they'll keep doing that as long as you guys are coming out here. And this weather looks like it's going to hold steady. So good fishing there. San Diego, back to the islands. Yesterday, they saw a lot of yellowtail, but they just couldn't get them to cooperate there. But good bottom fishing in the mix there. A lot of whitefish, a few sheephead, lingcod, sculpin in there also. And with the signs of yellowtail, the book saw yesterday, I don't know if you follow them on Instagram, but they showed their meter there. It looks like there's going to be a lot of fish biting pretty quick here. So check the website, seaforthlanding.com. We have the schedule up there for those half days, the full days on to San Diego. We're starting to get some more of those day and a half and 1 day trips out. Pacific Voyager went out a couple days ago and went down the coast. They're calling that trip there. They had 65 lingcod, 40 reds, and 25 rockfish for 13 guys on a day and a half trip there. So they limited out some great fishing. They're out on a 1 day trip right now. So all around great fishing. Definitely, like I said, check the website, seaforthlanding.com. Give us a call at the office, 619-224-3383. go out there, load up on fish, and like you guys are talking about there, I think you know where to get your ice when you're done fishing there.
Yeah, that's right. Some with gasoline, buddy, and load up on fuel too, for sure.
This is one of my favorite time of years, Marcos, when the new Seaforth gets to have access to fishing that cod again. It always blows me away what Brian and the guys do on that new Seaforth, those deep water trips. Like it is so reminiscent of a day and a half trip, but watching guys come off with those big reds and all the other stuff on a half day trip. It's so cool to see, and we're pumped to those guys have a little bit of weather to finally work with now and make those trips happen.
Yeah, they're pretty pumped too, I would think.
Oh, absolutely. They're loving, like I said, not just the fishing, but the weather holding steady here, man. A couple months there with a lot of those trips canceled, but I think a few days in a row here, they're going to get some steady fishing. It's just going to get better. San Diego's going to start finding those yellowtail and putting them on the boat, and those one day and a half trips. It's getting that time of season where I wouldn't be surprised to see some bluefin too, because Blair Supreme is out there. They're out on a trip now. They got off the dock there, and I'm sure out there is going to find some bluefin. It's just a matter of time before they move into range. So definitely get your gear ready if you haven't yet, because it's coming.
It's coming. We heard from Frank earlier in the show. They're still searching, but they're going to find them. They'll pop up. They're in the zone for sure. Hey, thanks, Marcos. Appreciate that very much, and we will talk to you next Saturday.
I'll talk to you then, guys.
Thanks,
All
Marcos.
Right. Thanks. Appreciate that. That wraps up our catch report today, and with Marcos there. And I have a good text here from Shane from Long Beach, and he says we book a late year charter every year, usually in mid-November. Last year it was our lowest bluefin count in November. Would you recommend a late October 2-day instead of November? What do you think, Mike? It's hard to say.
Yeah, hard to say. I know. Last November it seemed like all the fish was further down the coast. It was a bit of a stretch on a 3-day run to get down there. But it's hard to say, year to year, their fish, they move around. So,
yeah. But if you were booking a charter, would you book in October or November? Yeah. Put you on the spot, right?
How does weather factor into either of those?
Those are usually pretty good months.
Right.
They'll start getting them.
And don't forget, last year you had that yellowfin too.
Yeah.
In November and October, right?
Yeah.
So hard to beat that. Definitely.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how you make that call.
Yeah. Just book it.
Yeah. Find.
You know what? Just book it. Do you have any spots available in October, Rachel?
No, we're completely full. Well, we have open trips, but we don't have any spots open for charters this year.
But you have some spots open on trips?
Yes.
Yeah. What trips do you run in October?
We start our those are all 7 and 8 day trips in October. So October, November.
Okay.
All 7,
and there's some spots on open on.
Yeah. There's a few spots sitting on.
I have a question between those two, and maybe it's the same on both of them. But one of the things we hear a lot about on Let's Talk Hookup and guys in the shop is like a fish that everybody wants to knock off their bucket list if they haven't already is wahoo fishing. Do those trips put you into wahoo country? And that's a fish where October or November, like, is it better to try and book your trip in October and be amongst the first trips down there when that fish hasn't been hit a whole bunch? Or is it better to be in November when you're a little bit later into the fall and more traditional time?
I don't think going in October is going to give you the first shot at it, because a lot of the guys are going down there starting in June, all year round. I know the RP goes down pretty much their whole season, and the Independence, those guys are all doing those 7 8 day trips, and we're up here fishing 3-day trips. It's hard to say, you get different waves, the water moves around. I know some of the best wahoo fishing I've seen has been in, end of November, or either that or, it's hard to say. It all depends on the water and you get it on the right day. And
sure.
What's the right length of trip to book if that is something on your bucket list? Somebody's out there, they've done their tuna fishing, they really want to go catch a wahoo with you guys. What is the right length of trip to book?
Yeah, 8-day trip.
Okay.
8-day trips is ideal if you're.
And those ultra limited load trips you have are super popular. Did you do any 7 or 8 day ultra limited loads?
Yeah, we do, and we actually have a couple spots on.
Really?
We have one spot on October 10th on one of those 14 passenger.
14
Saturdays.
passengers. Everybody gets their own stateroom, right, Rachel?
Yes, everyone gets their own room.
And lots of room at the rail, too. That must be a pleasure for you to cook for 14 passengers, huh?
Yeah, we
you
get
step
better.
it up a little bit.
Yeah, we get.
Do
you
you?
know, it's I'm able to work with the money better, so what we get, it's
Yeah, little
higher end.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So make sure
Get a little 5-star.
Yeah, definitely 6-star.
Yeah, 6-star. It's always 5-star, right? It's always 5-star. That's cool. Yeah, good.
All right. Well, hey, I had a great text come through. It said, wow, what a great show, guys. I love fishing on Team Searcher. I caught my personal best bluefin on her. And the captain and crew have always taken such superior care of us. Captain Mike, my question is for you. Is it time to retire my rail rod and just fish with a jigging rod at night? Last year, my rail rod sat in the rack the whole trip. That's from Ted in San Diego.
It's a preference. Whatever style you like fishing. Whatever you want to fit, whatever you want to hang on to at the rail all night, I guess.
Yeah. Well, hey,
that's the right answer.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, stand by. We got a full hour for you, but only on the Let's Talk Hookup app and YouTube and Facebook Live. We'll sign off on the Fan. Be back tomorrow morning on the Fan. Thanks to Jeff in the studio, but we've got a full hour here with the gang here from the Searchers. So you stay tuned on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook, and YouTube Live.
Hi, it's Ben. I want to tell you about a great event at my dad's shop, Dana Landing in Mission Bay. It's coming up on Saturday, May 10th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. We call it the Summer Kickoff Sale. Yeah, I know. It's not summer yet, but my dad, Johnny, Bubba, and everyone at Dana Landing, especially me, wish it was. So we celebrate a bit early with huge discounts on everything in the store. Some stuff is even 50% off. There will be several manufacturers, representatives, some amazing seminars by top anglers, and even my buddy Ron at Fastlane will have free kayak demos and stuff on sale. Rollo Kids will have a booth too, raising money to take kids like me fishing. And get this, there will be free food and drink too. Yum! So mark your calendar Saturday, May 10th, the summer kickoff sale at Dana Landing, next to the Dana Lawn Trip at Mission Bay. The event is 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., but everything will be on sale up to 50% off all day. But don't take too much of his money. I need stuff too.
One rod has set the standard for serious saltwater anglers worldwide, and that's CalStar. From the rugged dependability of the West Coast Series, the lightweight strength of the Graphiter, or the performance of the GG Series, all CalStar rods are handmade right here in Southern California of the finest materials and craftsmanship. Check out the new CalStar models now available, as well as upgrades to the classic rods that you know and love. If you want your tackle to be state-of-the-art tools to get the job done right, it's CalStar at fine tackle dealers.
Hey, everybody. This is Captain Dwayne Diego, 4-pack charter captain, here to talk to you about Parker Boats and the good folks at West Coast Marine. When it came time to start pinnacle sport fishing and get my own boat, there was only one choice. I wanted a Parker. Then there's a real good reason for it. The fishability and seaworthiness. I've been fishing on Parkers for years now, and I know the abuse they can take. Parker Marine builds a heavy-duty, industrial-strength boat, probably overbuilt, but that's what I need when we're out 12 hours a day, over 300 days a year, running charters. The guys at West Coast Marine built me one heck of a fishing boat. From the custom tower with steering and throttle controls to the backup bait pump system, my Parker 2520 XLD will deliver me to the fishing grounds reliably and safe. Take it from me. If you're ready for a new Parker at a fair, upfront, honest deal, you need to see West Coast Marine, located at 1555 Newport Boulevard in Costa Mesa, or check them out and their inventory and information online at westcoastmarine.com.
Day at the Docks is back, and Fisherman's Landing Tackle will have our largest booth ever. Hi, this is Doug Kern. Both in the shop and out in the parking lot, we will feature a huge inventory of rods, reels, lures, clothing, and more, all on sale. The fishing season is here, so take advantage of our inventory and sale prices while you can. Day at the Docks and Fisherman's Landing Tackle. Take advantage of our great deals Sunday, April 13th. The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. Our hardworking crew will make your fishing experience one to remember. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. Fisherman's Landing is a full-service sport fishing operation offering great half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day trips on the spacious and comfortable 85-foot Liberty. with bunks for your comfort, a huge bait capacity, and RSW fish holds to keep your catch fresh. Fisherman's Landing also boasts the best captains and crews in the business, from seasoned veterans to our young future legends. All our open party trips from half-day, full, or 1 to 3 day trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, Let's Talk Hookup, right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app and YouTube and Facebook Live. Pete Gray here, along with Rock Cod Rick Maxa in the world headquarters here. Let's Talk Hookup. Beautiful Southern California day here in San Diego. We have a great group of people from the Searcher. We have Captain Mike Todter and Josh Evans and Rachel Bolka, all from the Searcher, and talking about that fantastic fishing platform. And boy, are we ready to go fishing.
No doubt, man. Yeah, it is happening. And great weather is here. The fishing season is upon us. Searcher's going, and boy, it's less than a month countdown now then to fishing season, and we're just chomping at the bit to get things rolling here. And we're excited to talk to you. If you want to be a part of the show this morning, talk to the crew from the Searcher, you can send us a text on that Let's Talk Hookup app. Apps have been, or the texts have been fantastic.
Really
Lots
great
rolling in, but we got another full hour of taking your text here on the stream, and as well as Facebook and YouTube Live. And again, that's only available through the Let's Talk Hookup app. It's a free download. But when you send your text in, make sure that you include your contact info. Just a name and a phone number is all we need, because if you win that big prize at the end of the show today, we wanted to make sure to get it to you. And again, what a killer prize for one lucky caller or texter at the end of the show today. And that's a brand new pack of the Osea Sardine Waver jigs. Pardon me. Really killer brand new slow pitch jigs from Shimano, and somebody's going to get a really killer assortment, well over $100 worth of new jigs coming to one lucky caller or texter again at the end of the show today. So yeah, great times, and we're having a lot of fun doing it as well. And with that said, it's time to find out what's going on. We're going to continue on our catch report. We got our fishdope.com reporter, Captain Mark Wish of Pacific Edge, is on the line. And today, that great report is sponsored by the Fish Pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, where you get the premier processing experience for your next long-range trip. Check out the easier online system to book your processing orders. Also, with new team members, Fisherman's Processing stays far ahead of the rest. More same-day capacity, the finest customer service. You can stop by their location in Old Town on Taylor Street, or check fishermansprocessing.com and be sure you make that reservation today. We got him on the line, Captain Mark Wish. Good morning, Mark.
Morning, Ricky, Pete, Mike, Rachel, Josh. You got the full house in there today. You guys are doing a good job, having fun.
Thanks, Mark.
But, God, I got to tell you, what a pleasant surprise to get up this morning, look outside, see clear skies, no wind, no rain, and then looking at the main weather page on NOAA, see no watches, no warnings, no advisories, just a blank screen. It's been a long time coming to have nice weather on a weekend. So, yeah, gotta love it. So along the coast, now those water temps really did take a hit there with that breeze we had earlier in the week, down to low 50s in some areas, even heard of a 49. That's just chilly. And it's going to take a little bit as temps bounce back, for those bass to shake off them wintertime doldrums. But it is springtime. Days are longer, sun angles higher, especially with the sunshine. Those calico bass love that kind of condition. So we'll see if they start waking up here. And as expected, with rockfish season now open and guys able to get to them, all depths are available. And it's been really good fishing, a lot of quality here the last couple of days. And remember, guys, there's only 2 red snappers. They changed the limits, only 2. And if you're filleting on the boat, you got to leave all the skin on, not just a skin patch, the whole skin.
The whole skin, the whole skin patch, not the body or anything, but the entire skin.
Dude, I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Mark. I had no idea that was a rule change.
Yeah, I was looking at the regs, and I'm pretty sure that's the way I read it. So
okay, good dope, man. I would have botched that one for sure. That's good info, man. Thank you.
So, yeah, don't forget that guys. So Catalina here. Now we're still waiting for them sea bass. They have not got the memo that they're supposed to be biting, or maybe they are. Just guys didn't find them or whatever. But still pretty good halibut fishing over there. And like the coast, the weather at the island was just harsh midweek. I mean, gusts to 50 over there, and so as you can imagine, that waters just took a hit. Definitely be in recovery mode, although it is bouncing back quickly. It looks like now at Clemente, this is good news because we haven't had any Clemente reports in a really long time. A few boats did get over there, looked around. They did find a little bit of squid. Pretty sure that was in the cove. And I don't know if they caught any gamesters on it, but lots of cods, as you might expect, and did get a first hint of some surface action. Maybe today we'll get a little more info on what happened with that yellowtail over there. And then another couple zones for you guys to keep an eye on. Both La Jolla on the coast and the famous Coronado Island. There's been some good schools of yellows around, not biting all that good yet, but some of that La Jolla fish especially, with just some whoppers were caught up there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, conditions are straightening out, and we got a week of nice weather, it looks like. So we're going to get a chance to see what's actually around and wants to bite. We're on the cusp of a brand new season and can't wait to see how it all shakes out.
We like it at fishdope.com. Danny and the boys will have all the information for you. $30 off a new membership to fishdope.com using the code Hookup Now, lowercase, no space. Hookup Now, your $30 code. And Mark, how do we find you?
Well, Pete, we're 9th and Beach. We're on the corner of Bolsa Chica and Edinger by the Chevron station. And the phone number at the store is 714-840-4262. The website, pacificedgetackle.com. And I'm excited for next week's report, man. Between the guys looking around offshore and guys poking around, there's boats at Nick now, so we're going to get some reports from the outside with this nice weather. It's going to get good finally.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Hey, thanks, Mark.
We're so ready.
Appreciate that report, and we'll talk to you next Saturday with better conditions.
You got it, guys. We'll see you.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, Mark.
Appreciate that very much.
All right, that's going to wrap up our catch report. I had a great text for the crew. It says, good morning, guys. I was wondering how many people fit in your staterooms and how you pair people up in case I wanted to bring my wife on a trip. Are they two-person rooms, or would we get set up with another couple? Also, my question is about meals. We've never done a trip on the Searcher. Are meals included? Are we able to purchase a meal plan? That's all from Alex in San Carlos.
Well, I can speak to the rooms. We can normally put one person, two people, up to four people in a room, depending on the stateroom. When people call to book, I'll ask, or they'll tell me if they're fishing with somebody. And then when it comes time to put people in rooms, we put them in a room together. It's actually very helpful when people tell me, hey, my friend's fishing on the boat. Can I room with them?
Yeah.
And if somebody's traveling with their wife, are there often accommodations to put just those two in a room together?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then what about the other questions?
And for the food, everything's covered for the most part.
Part of the price, right?
Yeah, it's part
There's
of the price.
no extra cost.
No extra cost, coffee, everything. Beer and is not included, of course, and sodas. But other than that, everything is covered by us.
What's a rundown of food like on the day? I mean, the only reason I ask is I know you're always putting out extras and specials and snacks. Like, what's a typical fishing day like on the galley side of things on the Searcher?
Breakfast. It's all dependent and stuff like that. But standard breakfast. Put up mid-morning snack, lunch, and then mid-afternoon, and then dinner. Say that there's even a bluefin bite.
Midnight snack.
Yeah.
I love how much Josh just rolls over. I mean, it's all day long that there's things coming. Mid snack. Mid-morning snacks are like not a, it's not a bowl of Chex Mix that somebody throws out on the counter. When you guys chef up all day long, again, you just roll over that like it's nothing. I mean, it's one of the coolest parts about it. Like, you guys kill it.
Yeah, and if I'm on the deck at night and it's late at night, I'll go in and
the midnight snack.
Make something up.
That sounds like what's an example of a midnight snack when you guys been kicking butt?
Usually.
Oh yeah. How about that? How about winding your butt off all night long in the dark, trying to catch a bluefin, and then have somebody throw a BLT at you?
Come on.
That's pretty cool, Josh.
That's pretty cool. And then And then what if somebody has special dietary restrictions?
For special dietary restrictions, just let us know prior.
Like if somebody's a vegetarian, somebody doesn't eat meat,
very
or whatever.
very very whatever. World's your oyster, but not like exactly.
Can you group
that
her with
bad,
every
but-
meal?
What?
Can you group her with every meal?
Oh yeah, I could. No complaints.
That'd be all right. That'd be good. Hey, I have another great text here. It's from Matt in Camarillo. And Matt writes and says, "Good morning. Always wanted to hop on the Searcher. Are we allowed to bring our own kite gear?" He's a lefty, he says.
Typically, no. We have our own kite. If you can bring your own kite rod if you want.
If he's a lefty,
yeah.
yeah.
But don't bring any kites or anything like that.
So, yeah, you've got all the kites. But if you wanted to bring a kite rod and you're a left-handed guy, bring it.
Yeah, we could send it out on it when it's your turn. No problem.
Yeah.
Better be able to finish that thing off. The last thing Mike wants to have to do is finish it.
What would you do? Would you flip it upside down or what?
This guy's.
I had to finish a big fish for somebody once on left-handed tackle. It's very awkward if you're not used to doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You kind of get in the
I'm
zone and
left-handed.
how
I
you
don't
catch a
think
big
I
fish,
can
and man,
do
that
it
is
very well. Yeah.
It's patting your head and rubbing your tummy at the same time.
Yeah,
all of a sudden,
exactly.
it gets like a lot tough. You wouldn't think that just switching your hand to turn the handle could be that big of a deal, man. It's tough sometimes.
A little different. Yeah, for sure. And bring it, Matt. All right, you have another good text, huh?
I thought so. It says, "Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My question: you talking about the nice weather, Mike. When you're headed out early in the season and you don't have a lot of fishing info to work with, what are you looking for and trying to decide what moves to make? Can't wait to go on the Searcher with you guys this year. Looking forward to a great trip." That's from Rory in Lakeside.
Basically, we're looking for some sort of info to base it off of, and then we're looking at water pictures and water pictures and going off of what we've what guys have seen the day before, or if there's no one out, what I think Frank said that the plane was up yesterday, and so we're going off info and water pictures.
Yeah. So you're not shooting blind.
No.
You know where you're going,
Yeah.
especially with more coverage on the water. Like right now, Aliar on the Polaris Springs
that's
is the only
tough.
guy out. That's tough.
That's tough. Yeah.
But he's got the guys down below fishing bluefin, spotting for him.
Yeah.
So that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it gets easier later in the year when you have.
Yeah. Now, why do you think? I mean, obviously there's bluefin there, and they're just not showing here for the last day. What happens? What have you seen that they just disappear for a day?
Especially this time of year.
Yeah.
This time of year, it seems like they make really really big moves, or so they're pretty wild this time of year. It takes a little while for them to settle in. I think. We saw it last year, and there's some really big moves last couple of years. Up and down the coast that they'll pop up 60 miles away or more overnight. So it's just not having any coverage. It's very very hard.
Yeah. Jeff from the Fan, our producer on the Fan, was telling me this morning. He says, "Hey, what do you know about these big anchovy balls that we're seeing in Santa Monica Bay?" I guess there was a big news report about these giant balls of anchovy. That's kind of everywhere, all over Southern California right now, right?
Yeah, I
that's a
think
good
so, yeah.
sign, huh?
Yeah,
that's what you want to see.
Yeah, the fish, bluefin love it.
Yeah,
yeah. So
that's what drives those bluefin crazy, right? Yeah, want to see that stuff. Hey, I have a great text here from John and Carson, and John writes, "Good morning, guys. Great show. I have a tackle question. Talico 10 or 12 on a 40-pound outfit. I want to convert from my single speed star drag lever drag reel." I know I have my opinion. What do you think, Ricky?
That's the bubble, man.
Yeah.
I think that you need to go into a tackle store and put both of those in your hand. So a Talica 10 is
my favorite reel, by the way.
Yeah,
number one on my list.
Man, it's a tough call. I'm a Talica 10 guy for my 40-pound outfit. So a Talica 10 is very much capable of fishing 40-pound, but that's kind of the top end of it. So you get with Talica 10, you get a much smaller reel. It fits in your hands better. It's lighter. It's easy to cast. It's a lighter weight spool, so your bait pulls line off the reel easier. So all those things are great. On the flip side, a Talica 12 It's a shorter, skinnier reel. It's a little taller. It's a little bigger in your hands, but with a bigger reel comes bigger gears, bigger drags, bigger handle. You make more power. It's easier to turn the handle on a fish. So,
and with the new Talica A,
right,
even more power than before.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that you just need to put those in your hands and let that dictates it. Like the Talica 12, 40-pound, no problem. It's on the lower end of the line that you could fish. The TAC 10, 40-pound being the higher end, but that's the bubble making that decision.
But you can fish on that TAC 10. You can fish 25-pound. You can fish 30 all day long. And
Exactly.
like you say,
I would say most common, you get yourself a Talica 10 and you fill it with 65-pound Max Quattro, and exactly like you said, you could make that your fly line, kelp patty, 25-pound reel, all the way up to a comfortable 40-pound, outfit. TAC 12. You'd probably fish 65 or even 80-pound Max Quattro, and you could fish anywhere from 40 or 50-pound on that thing. So for me, it's a TAC 10, but yeah, that's a.
Now that we've thoroughly confused you,
yeah, that's a.
But just like Rick
You
said,
just got to
go
put
into
them
the
in your
tackle
hand.
shop and
Yeah,
put it in
your hand and decide. If you got smaller hands, the TAC 10, no problem. You got big hands, fish a 12.
Yeah, very good.
All right. Well, hey, I had another great text come through. It says, "Good morning, guys. My name is Doug from Paris. The Searcher is such a top of the line operation. Mike, Josh, Monkey, the boys. You guys have the best crew around, and I've fished with a lot of them. I try to do at least one trip every year, and this is for something that I want to pass along to all the listeners. Searcher is one of the only boats that I know of that allow you to make a minimum down payment and then make monthly payments. This helps tremendously for my budget and allows me to do more trips. Great work on everything, Mike and crew. Can't wait to come see you later in the year."
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's it. It is a great point. And Rachel, I know that people can do that too. If you don't necessarily have the whole thing right up, you can put a down payment, secure your spot, and pay off your trip, as you go.
Yes, that's correct. We have a monthly payment system, and when you book a trip, it will deduct that day that you book and then deduct once a month until the trip is paid for.
Really cool.
Oh, so you
Yes,
just
and
give them your credit card. They just give you a credit card, and it's automatic.
It's automatic.
Oh, I
yes.
didn't
And
realize
How
that.
sweet!
There's
is
no
that?
interest.
great.
You don't have to
Yeah.
call again. Just
No,
like
it's
every month,
thoughtless.
you're
You
going to
just-
get dinged. X number of dollars, depending. They just divide the cost of the trip divided by however many months.
Correct.
That's awesome. I didn't know
Nice.
that was a thing. That's great.
That's a really
What a
nice
great,
It's very
yeah, killer.
helpful. People like it.
Yeah, that's
super cool.
fantastic. Little bit a month is kind of no big deal. You take the whole chunk at one shot. It's harder to it's harder
It's
to
less to notice.
Yeah, that's great. Cool. Good idea.
Getting lots of texts like this, like the past one and this one. This is from Michael. He says, "Hey, Searcher was the first long-range boat that I fished on. Since then, I've been booking trips on the boat for the past 15 plus years. What keeps me coming back is the customer service by the owners, old and new, and the outstanding crew. I can't wait for this fishing season to commence. I got 2 trips planned. Hey, Monkey, I missed you, man." That's Michael Towns.
All right.
So yeah, so lots and lots of texts, lots of
Thanks,
good
Mike.
stuff. So that's it's always nice to hear that when you take over a boat, when you guys start owning a boat, right? Art and Celia did such a fantastic job before, and it's nice to be able to hear that people are still happy with the operation. It's got to be, huh?
Yeah, me too.
No.
I have another great one. Is from Darren. It says, "Hey guys, can't wait to come fishing with you. I have a 3-day trip booked in July. I was wondering if you could give me a quick rundown of the 3 most important rods and reels to have on a 3-day trip."
I think especially the way the fishing has been the last however many years now. Heavy setup, 100-pound setup, some big 2-speed reel and a heavy rod, or it doesn't even have to be a big 2-speed reel, but then like something you can fly line 30 or 40-pound with, and so something you can fly line 50 or 60-pound with. I think that if you had to pick 3 setups, that pretty much covers it.
Got it.
All right, cool. Hey, John from Mira Mesa has a good question here. It says, "Good morning, gang. After boat schedule is posted with costs, etc., is there still potential for an additional fuel surcharge on a trip?"
Yeah, there is potential for it. We didn't have to do that last year. It all depends on the fuel prices.
You just don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. 2 years ago we had to. I think everyone had to do a small surcharge. Last year we didn't. The fuel prices stayed within, stayed low. So hopefully the same this year.
Yeah, fingers crossed for low fuel prices.
Yeah, we don't like doing that, but
yeah. What's your favorite trip to run, Mike? What's the trip that's like, I can't wait to go on this trip? Do you like the longer ones, the shorter ones? What do you think?
I think like the can't wait to go on this trip sort of thing is some of these. We have an 8-day in August, I think, just because we do these the short trips, the 2 to 4 day trips starting now, and then kind of change of pace. So
yeah,
I look forward to doing those just because I think it's not so much because of the fishing or what we're doing. It's just because it's a change of pace.
Yeah. What about you, Josh?
Yeah, I like warmer weather. So
Yeah, warmer weather.
Down to the tropics.
Yeah, definitely down south.
Yeah, get down there for sure. Talk about the rest of your crew. Of course, Mike, you're not running the boat every single day the boat's out. Talk about the rest of your crew on the Searcher.
We've had this sort of the same core group for a while now.
Yeah, you guys really have.
Yeah, Ryan and Sean, Monkey, as most people know us, but
Chongo.
Caden and Shane. Shane stepped up last year and ran his first few trips. He had a couple good trips out there on the Cortez when that was really good fishing last year. And then he ran an 8-day trip last year, and he had very, very good fishing, like that good yellowfin fishing we were talking about. Got off to the rocks. I think he caught everyone a wahoo. That's one of our goals with those 14 passenger trips. Is to try and catch everyone a wahoo, or if it's available. And being 14 people, only having 13 other guys on the boat, you have a pretty good opportunity of that. Well, it's got Josh and Dan in the galley. Yeah, couple of guys that have only been there for a year. Jeff and Rob,
more seasonal guys.
Yeah, and then we have our long time, part time. Like Kenny still comes down and works some trips.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. He still comes down.
He's still there. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. So you're not on every trip, Josh.
No. This year I'm gonna bring revenue guy Kyle, but he's been working on boats. He worked on the producer and stuff like that, and he's worked a trip with us before. But he'll be with us this year for the most part when I'm not here.
That's got him working all your areas.
Yeah. He'll be. I'll be on certain trips and stuff like that for people that request and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll be here.
Well, speaking of first trips and things, I thought this was a fun text. Good morning, guys. So, Mike, I was on your very first solo trip when Art still had the boat. You took us to Ensenada and then out to Guadalupe, and we had the most fantastic fishing. I was wondering if you could talk about a little bit what it was like with the nerves when you take the boat out on your own for the first time. For us passengers, you were great. That was from Ed in Ventura.
Yeah. What's up, Ed? Yeah, I remember that first trip I ran, 6-day Guadalupe Island trip.
Definitely some nerves.
Definitely some nerves. But when we're going out there, there's when we were fishing Guadalupe, there's a lot of boats coming and going, so you have a lot of info, and all the guys we work with are very helpful. Brian Evans and Brian Kiyahara, those guys are out there when I got out there, and they really helped me out there the first year, especially Mike Lackey, all those guys that very, very helpful in fishing that place. Especially it's pretty intimidating going out there and fishing next to those guys when you've never been out there or you have, but never driven the boat out there or anything. But
it's got to be
all those guys really, really helped me out.
It's got to be such a feeling, like you say, you had been there, hundreds of times, but then all of a sudden when it's your job to decide where to put that anchor down, like it's got to be a completely different thing.
Yeah, and also our had been dialed in with our plotter, all the spots that he's been fishing there for, like we said, 40
that
years.
helps.
That
push the button. Here we go.
But I'm sure it's cool for you now. It's such old hat now. Like you get to be that guy too. Like when a guy's doing his first trip and doing all those things, like now you get to pass that along and set a guy up for the same success that you had. It's pretty cool. And the communication amongst these boats too, I think is so unique too. Like what other industry do you so closely work with, who are your competitors, but they're also your best of friends, and you work with everybody every day. I mean, you're vying for the same passengers and the same dollars, yet everybody works so good together. It's a really unique industry, and pretty cool to get to be a part of.
Yep.
For sure. Hey, John in Upland has a question for Josh, and he says, do you ever make fresh ceviche on the boat? And what kind of fish you use? Tuna, skipjack, yellowtail, and what's your recipe?
I refrain from tuna for the most part for ceviche. That'd be more of a pokey thing, or like a carpaccio. But yeah, most white fish, or at least you want to call it pink fish, I guess, would be considered ceviche. And
how do you make it?
Oh, how do I do it? There's multiple ways to do it, but it's like, make a pico de gallo. You cure the fish in salt and lime and red
For how
onions.
long?
It's dependent. Like wahoo, I would only do for like 30 minutes. Anything after that turns to mush. Triggerfish is usually longer. Yellowtail, the finer you chop it up, then cure it. Kind of has like a shrimp-like kind of consistency to it. Yeah, it all varies, but yeah, main basis is the pico de gallo, the salt, and also like you can separate the pico de gallo and make it inside with that, and then cure the fish with the salt, lime, and onions on the other batch.
Salt, lime, and keep in the refrigerator.
Keep in the refrigerator. More, I'd say probably an hour. It's again when you see the meat change its color and it starts cooking, the acid starts cooking and stuff like that. You usually can gauge it. Just make sure you mix it and then check it again. And then once all the fish is basically changed color for the most part, I would throw the pico de gallo in, let it rest, let it hang out another 30 minutes, and then serve it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What do you serve it with?
Avocado. It depends. Like some places, like they serve mayo with it. Avocados, chips, saladitas, anything. Yeah.
What about okay, you mentioned pokey. You like making pokey?
Yeah, I love making pokey.
What's your pokey recipe?
I have thousands of them.
Thousands? Do you have one that stands out that people just go wild about it?
No, there's a simple one. Like there's the simple like spicy sesame mayo one, which is keep it simple: green onions, sesame oil, cube pie mayo. I like putting a little bit of tobacco in it, some sriracha, and maybe some like chopped chili, like red chilies in it and stuff like that to give it some more bite to it. And then just mix it in together, and maybe a little bit of lime too.
So the big question is how big of cubes do you use, or how do you chop the tuna?
About half an inch. Maybe?
Half an inch cube?
Yeah, nothing
square?
too big. You want it to fit in your mouth, nothing to chew on, and not too small.
Sounds really good.
Yeah.
What was the mayo that you talked about?
It's called Kewpie. It's like a Japanese mayo.
Japanese.
Yeah.
Mayo.
It's KE or what was Japanese? Oh yeah, it's Japanese. KEWPIE.
Okay.
And
it has a special flavor.
Oh yeah,
works really well.
MSG in it, which makes it
You have a what?
I think it has MSG.
The secret ingredient.
Yeah, secret ingredient. I think that's what it's funny.
Well, I had another fun text. This is a shout out to Josh, Mike, and the crew. I fished one of their 8-day limited load trips and had a fantastic experience. Quality with service. Josh has fantastic culinary skills, from loading to departing to quality experience of the fish. I had a fantastic time. That's from Monkey's next door neighbor, John from OB.
Oh, what up, John?
What up, John? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Mark in Fallbrook has another good question here. It says, good morning, captains. Electronics are so important to all of us. Is there a class or a YouTube video I can watch to improve my electronics game?
There probably is. The best thing to do is spend some time in the water looking at them.
Yeah, that's the key, right?
Yeah.
Spend a lot of time looking at them. I can tell you this. I put Raymarine electronics on my boat, the new Raymarine that was now, since they purchased by Fear. They have an incredible online class. If you just go to raymarine.com, and they have numerous different classes on, it's called like Raymarine Live, and it's on YouTube, and you can watch different things on how to change your unit, and I'm sure it would apply to other electronics too, but it's specific to Raymarine, but I'm sure you could figure it out. But check that out, raymarine.com, and look at their online classes, and they have multiple different classes on various different types of electronics, using your radar, if you have a FLIR camera, using your depth sounder, fine-tuning your chart plotter, all of that stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I had another great text come through. It says, good morning, guys. In years past, during the daytime when searching for tuna, you would always see milk crates hanging on the corner of the stern filled with tuna cord and heavy mono leaders dragging a jig. Is that just an archaic technique that's not practiced anymore? Do boats still use boat lines? And does or did the searcher ever do this? That's from Mike and Rosemead.
Yeah. I think that's you know what, when we're coming home on those whale watching trips, we have the boat lines out coming home. It's just the crew that rides the boat on the way home. When we're traveling up and down the coast, we use them. Yeah, no, it's I wouldn't say it's archaic, but
Dragon a lure will never stop working.
Still works.
Yeah. Whenever we're going up and down the coast.
And in the albacore,
and if we ever get out,
I was gonna say in the albacore days, pre-sonar days, there was you relied on jig strikes to get the boat stopped, and those boat lines often had like a 5-pound sinker in them, so it would be the only way of trolling a jig a little bit deeper. And there were times when the boat line would be the only thing that stopped the boat and got a bait stop started.
Yeah, I want to hear that. Right? That's the one you want to hear.
That's it.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's trolling never stopped working and always did. But tuna fishing wise, you're no longer relying on a jig strike to get the boat stopped. And I would guess there are probably times when it could almost be a hindrance when you're trying to position the boat on a school and get the boat where you want it stopped in front of everything rather than stopping the boat because as you're approaching and you get a jig strike and have to stop and watch the school sneak away from you.
Yeah, we more use the boat lines, when we're traveling, so that we don't have to stop the boat. You could pull it, whatever, skip it across and throw it on. So, if we're trying to get somewhere, that's when we'll use the boat lines.
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming here. More of your phone calls, more great info from Team Searcher. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California Sport Fishing Voice on Facebook, YouTube, Live, the Let's Talk Hookup app. We got more coming your way.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now with stores throughout Southern, Central, and Northern California. No one does it better. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find a location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
Hi, this is Captain Ray Lopez, owner-operator of the American Angler. I've spent more than half my life aboard the American Angler along with my partners Brian and Lori, developing a team that's as good as it gets. I've been fortunate to spend time on the ocean with so many fine people that I look forward to fishing with. We can't thank you enough for being part of the American Angler family, and if you haven't joined us, we love the opportunity to meet you. Text or call Lori at 619-223-5414 or check AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com.
It's time to talk about great gear from Shimano. We talked about the Talica reels.
Right.
And the new series Talica A's.
Yes.
Are available now in a 12, a 16, 20, and 25.
Correct.
More power, smaller feel in your hand, and
different drag system. They went from a single disc to a twin disc drag system. Handle changes on the 20 and 25. A lower low gear ratio in the taller reels, that 2025, 12 and 16, again, increased free spool. They're just awesome. They took a fantastic reel. They somehow made it better.
Yeah. How do you do that?
I don't
Take
know,
the best
man.
reel on the market and you made it better.
That's Shimano for you.
Yeah. So check it out. The Talica 12, 16, 20, and 25 at your local Shimano dealer. Take a closer look at the Ford F-150. You'll see hard work, a great adventure, and so much more. Inside and out, it's designed for the family, the road trip, and the most demanding job. The 2025 Ford F-150, whether it's gas, hybrid, or all-electric, to meet your needs. From California's best-selling truck brand, it's time to see Ford in a new light. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealer today to see the great selection across the full truck lineup.
The lighter the bite and the cleaner the water means one thing. Need a thinner leader, more natural presentations. That's where Seaguar Gold Label leader material shines. It's Seaguar's thinnest leader material yet. That means it's even less visible underwater and creates more natural presentations for better catch rates on leader-shy fish. With exceptional knot and tinsel strength, this advanced leader material is now available from 2-pound test for fishing trout in the sea Sierra to 80-pound test for big yellowfin and Guadalupe. Get Seaguar Gold Label at your favorite tackle dealer or learn more at seaguar.com.
Hookup, having a great time here this morning, talking fishing, talking team searchers, so much cool stuff going on this morning.
So much. And we have Rachel, who,
Yes.
if you're watching us on YouTube, Rachel, of course, here, and she manages the phones and all the dock stuff, right?
Yes.
You ever get out on the boat?
I've been on 2 trips.
2 trips?
Yes, last
All right.
year.
You like to fish?
I like being on the water.
You like being on the water? That's all right.
Good
Being honest.
answer.
And of course, Mike is the captain, and of course, chef extraordinaire Josh here having a good time talking fishing. Norm, a lot of fans out there on the Searcher. I mean, it's like getting just flooded. I mean, it's like the number of texts, 50, 75 texts, all talking about how great Searcher is.
Yeah.
Norm,
That's
Norm
exactly what the
Fujimoto,
problem is. Yeah, we've got so many great texts, but they're all exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, love the Searcher. I'm going in June. Can't wait to see you guys. Oh my God, Team Searcher's so great. Rachel's the best. See you in July.
Yeah.
Like it's all the same
Here's
thing.
another one from Norm Fujimoto. It says, having fished with Mike and Josh, I can highly recommend the Searcher. The crew is first rate. The Searcher is a great boat, first time for a first timer as well as the experienced fisherman. The crew is really great with kids too. Don't miss out on taking a trip on the Searcher. How about that, huh?
Yeah, Norm's a man. He's one of the Iserline reps, and
Oh, okay, that Norm.
He sponsors two trips a year. We have a 4-day, which I believe is full, and then our last trip of the year, Norm with Iserline, and then Rich and the Knee Deep Brewing are co-sponsoring a trip. So
That's cool.
So line and beer,
free line, free beer.
And now,
It's a good trip.
Are there spots available on that trip?
There are. There's 9 spots.
Oh, wow.
And how many day trip is that?
It's an 8-day trip. 20 limited to 20 passengers.
20 passengers.
Yeah, it's our last trip of the year.
Yeah.
Okay. And
It's
what's
right before
the date on that?
November 18th to the 26th.
And you'll be back the day before
Day before
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
Right.
Wednesday of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's
so
one
you
of
have plenty
my
of time to
favorite
get back
trips
to
of
the
the year.
family.
Yeah,
The last one.
and
Yeah.
it's always a great trip. We haven't had every year. It's been amazing. So
Yeah. So free line, free beer, and great
Good
fishing.
times, yeah.
And a good
Great
time with
food.
20 people.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? So when you say, I step it up a little bit sometimes, like what would be a step up for Josh? I mean, your food,
Yeah, I was gonna say, 'cause
food
the
is
food's
so
always so
great.
good.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like
like-
we can get filet mignon. We do scallops. We do, just more flair, I guess. When it
A
comes
little
to-
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mike-
more pizzazz and
Filet mignon and scallops or
yeah,
something like
surf
that.
and turf and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Wow.
You get to enjoy it all the time. What's your favorite thing that Mike chefs up in the galley for you guys? Like what's the standout for you?
Ooh, whenever he's making fish, because it's always fresh when we're out there.
Yeah.
We'll have someone who'll donate a fish to the galley, or we'll have one of the crew or myself wind one in, and we'll cut it up right there. Put it in the fish hole, pull it out, cut it up, and eat it. So it's
Yeah, we like
Fresh fish pretty hard to
can't
beat.
beat that.
Yeah, I mean, like showing the product of what you can do and what
Sure.
how you can handle your fish.
Yeah.
and what you can do with it.
Shows off how well the boys take care of
how
everything.
we
Like,
take care of it,
Yeah.
gill and gutting and bleeding, all that stuff.
and is it tuna? Is it wahoo? Is it grouper? What's if you had to pick one? What's a favorite?
Vermilion rock.
Yeah.
Oh, I love vermilion
Can't beat a
too.
red.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Reds are good. Yeah. Now you have Aaron Barnhill, of course,
Yeah.
formerly run there in Shogun, is now a commercial fisherman, fishing the tuna pens.
Yes.
And you just got a pretty amazing text.
Yeah, fun text from Aaron, just a check in, great bud, and he would just we were talking about the fishing and the ups and downs of things. He said Monday he made the largest set of his life on bluefin tuna. Said the tremendous amount of fish on, biggest set he'd ever made, and then in a follow up to that, he said the very next day it was all gone. Couldn't see it. Just typical bluefin. Most volume, biggest set he'd ever done. The next day, nothing. And then he also said, and then he said yesterday they saw nothing. This morning they are seeing fish and alliars in the same area that he's in now.
Okay.
Those guys both work. Again, Aaron's such a great friend of our fleet.
Right.
He's obviously in charge of commercial bluefin. In the biggest operation now, but. family is family, and always he's been such a good check for the off season for all of us, but said that there's definitely fish up again. He's in the same area that Aliar is in, so fingers crossed for.
So I'd say
for a
stay
big day
tuned and
today.
let's talk
Yeah,
up tomorrow morning
no
because
doubt,
we may
dude.
get some reports from.
How cool
Aliar
is that?
tomorrow, huh?
Yeah,
That's
and
good
I mean,
stuff.
just that if that's not the most typical of bluefin, for one of the very best guys in our fleet to make his largest set ever on Monday. And then today, or either yesterday rather, just nothing. It's just like that's
And
cool.
then now this afternoon it's coming back.
Exactly. Yeah. That's
or this morning.
That's those damn fish, man.
Mark your calendar for May 24th because we're going to have Aaron Barnhill on the show.
Hey,
yeah,
cool.
So
That'd
Aaron's
be
going to
fun.
be back from his voyages, and we set this up a couple months ago
Right.
because he knows his calendar, and and is willing to come and share his experiences on his new operation there.
Yeah, and that's an in between season. So he does this, fishes the live bluefin pen operation, and then as soon as he's done with that, hangs up and gets the other boats ready for albacore fishing, and then has the famous Billy G, Jack Webster's old boat, and we'll fish albacore all albacore season. So a busy guy. So it's a rare time to get him on the beach. That'll be a lot of fun.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, no doubt.
You have a good text too, huh?
I definitely do. Let me pull that right back up here.
Got a lot going on here in the
Yeah.
studio, right?
Okay, this one was from Josh. It says, guys, Team Searcher so well known. Mike, Josh, Shane, Ryan, Monkey Dan, all the rest of the crew. You guys are so fantastic. My question is for Mike. How do you add people to Team Searcher? It seems like your crew clicks so well together. What are the qualifications that you look for when you're adding a team member to the Team Searcher?
Qualifications. Well, it's more we've had the same sort of group of guys for a long time now, and it seems like it's a sort of the last couple employees have been a friend of a friend, or hey, one of the younger guys, Shane or Caden, hey, I got this, I know this guy that's looking for some work. Do we need anybody? Or yeah, it's
a word of mouth. But like to his point too, like you guys seem like you all just gel so well together, and that's tight quarters. I'm sure that's a very important part of it.
Yeah, no, it's got to. You got to fit in and get along with the rest of the guys, or it's not going to work out. It's been so much time together. So
you can be a great fisherman, but if Searcher has always had such a high focus on customer service. Like you can be the best fisherman, but you can't take care of the passengers. That doesn't fit the bill for you guys.
That's right.
It's
it's
a team, right?
Yeah, one chief, not all.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. One of our regular listeners, Cheer from Cardiff, just texted me and says loves my T-shirt. So I should probably talk about this T-shirt. It's a Hanson's T-shirt, and on the back is a picture of Cheer Critchlow on a longboard.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So I'll show that on the scene there. But that's,
All right.
So Cheers, I know he rides a boat with you too, and goes fishing with you. But Cheers, kind of an old time famous longboard guy.
That's so rad. I had no idea that was Cheer on the back of your shirt.
Yeah, he saw the shirt on YouTube, and so that was good. So Dan from Irvine has a question about gyros. And we were just talking about that.
I was going to read the same one. I love that. Yeah.
Baker Marine has electronic gyros that are under $1,000. Actually, they're not under $1,000. They're about $1,250, something like that. The price for the Techno Stavies by
I think they were, and then the new model has replaced them, that STX, which I think is a little above the $1,000 mark, but still, in the world of those binoculars, a lot more affordable.
How do they stack up compared to the $5,000 brand? Okay, so we had this discussion. The Techno Stavies by Fujinon for basically in that $1,200 range. Super lightweight, which is super amazing. Amazing power in two different powers, actually. You can get them super power. You probably want the 14 by 40, I would guess, for offshore rather than is it like 60 or 50 by 40?
Yeah, I don't want to think just because I'm not sure. I think it's a 14 and a 16.
The guys over at Baker Marine would be the guys to ask. But how do they stack up compared to like the Staviscope, which is the Fujinon that Baker Marine also sells?
They're a great tool.
They're awesome.
Techno Stavies. Most of the I think like half of our crew has their own pair of Techno Stavies, and then of course we have a couple pairs of
the Staviscopes
and pair of Frasers, like true gyros.
Fraser Maros,
yeah. As far as bang for your buck, you can't really beat it, I guess, for the smaller set. But the Staviscopes is what I prefer to use. They're a lot more stable, and I mean you're paying 5 times as much, so you don't.
Yeah.
So, and it's a lot. They're a lot heavier though. You have to hold in your hold up to your face all day.
It's not an easy call to make because they are 5 times as expensive, but they are not 5 times better.
No.
They're better.
They're better.
There is no question when you pick up the difference.
When you
between
sweep with that gyro, you're going to have faster movement.
Just that locked in, solid, stable, steady, no movement picture is so much better in the gyros.
But is it 5 times better? No way.
That's where your budget and everything else. I mean, the comparison between a normal old school pair of 7x50 field binoculars to a pair of Techno Stavies, it's not even in the same world.
Yeah.
I mean, that jump is it's a tool you have to have. That stabilized image. There's no difference. If the budget allows for it, the $5,000 set, it is so nice, and it is a big difference.
But for me, holding them all day, man, that Techno Stavy is awful nice to hold for a long period of time, right? I mean,
yes and no. Let me throw a devil's advocate at you. Like I have a pair of Fraser Mariners that Baker Marine, tunes up, and like the extra weight aids in them being steady.
More
you know what I mean? Like, yes, they're heavier to hold, but they also don't, when you get your elbows tucked in or you're in a good spot or you're in the beanbag or wherever it is, like the extra weight helps that from the little bit of jostling around and a little bit of hand tremor. So the reason I say that is my boat partner, Neil, he has a pair of Fraser Bylights.
Yeah.
In theory, they're the same motor. His weigh a pound lesser than mine do. So of course, I got to hold one
and they're
extra less pound. That's way better. I like mine a lot. Like I can hold my glasses more steady, and I think that extra weight is part of it. But again, I think more than anything, it's also because that's what I've used every time, and so that's what's most comfortable in my hand. But going back to his original question, those Techno Stavies are the best bang for the buck. Like Mike said, that's the best bang for the buck that is in fishing. The best fish finding tool that you can have, short of having a $50,000 sonar lights on board the Searcher. That's the best fish finding tool that money pays for, period.
Yeah. But if you don't have a $4,000 or $5,000 pair in your budget and you want to be on the water and in the game, Techno Stavies at Baker Marine,
the best.
Fujinon, absolutely a great investment.
And call those guys. Like they will. I can give you a little bit of time that I've had on the deck. Those guys can break down what the actual difference is, what your cost gets you, what the difference in glass is, how they're.
And then you can go down there and try them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like they're the best.
Pick
And
them up.
the other thing that I like about Baker is, we've talked about Baker Marine for years. No affiliation previously. That they're the spot. Like you can buy those things online. The money is no difference. The big difference is if and when there's ever a problem, spend your money with the guys who do the repair and the service. Like Baker takes care of everybody's glasses and the whole fleet and, commercial, recreational, whatever. Like you want to develop a relationship with the guys who also help you on the back end rather than trying to save $60 on an online website somewhere. And then when your glasses fall, you've got nobody to go to.
Right.
Baker's the team at home.
Take care of you.
Yep, no
Yeah,
doubt.
for sure. Plus they have those face shields. They sell the Baker Marine exclusive face shield, which is a absolute must on those glasses. Don't forget, Day at the Docks 1 week from tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Baker Marine will be there, and they'll have a special on the Techno Stavies as well as the Staviscopes. So you want to go by the Baker Marine booth at Day at the Docks. You guys will have the boat at Day at the Docks, right? It'll be open house?
No, not open house because we're still
working.
Yeah.
But the boat will be there.
The boat will be here. Yeah, we haven't actually been here. The boat's usually not here, so that's really cool.
So you'll be able to see the Searcher.
Yeah.
And are you going to have a booth, Rachel, at Day at the Docks?
Yes.
You'll have a booth?
Yes.
Okay. And so you'll be able to kind of talk to Rachel about different trips, kind of pick out your stateroom and all that, the
That's
layout.
correct. Yes.
Yeah. So
or sign up for a trip.
Yeah, sign up for a trip at Day at the Docks, so you don't want to miss that. And so that's a week from tomorrow, next Sunday, which is the 13th. Day at the Docks. It's an all-day festival. Starts at 9 a.m. We won't be doing a live broadcast this year. We'll be here in the world headquarters, which is actually right next door. But we will have a booth. Tommy P and Dave will be manning the booth for us, and we'll have T-shirts and hats. Fisherman's Landing will have a big sale going on, right?
Yeah, we do an inside and outside. Obviously, we get lucky enough that Day of the Docks happens in our backyard, so we have a big outside booth that will have all of our like closeouts, crazy discount stuff, like all of the things from PCS that didn't go. All of that gets blown out for Day at the Docks. It's how we kind of make room for things for our season, and then everything inside the store that's all first run merchandise will all be on sale also. Same deal. There's free Spectra promotions, discounts on all the reels, discounts on all the rods. It's a huge big sale day that celebrates sport fishing, and yeah, we're pumped up
it's a
for
big
it.
day.
Totally.
Yeah. And I know Everingham Brothers, they actually have a booth.
That's always fun.
Yeah, they sell T-shirts and stuff, and get to meet some of the guys. Speaking of Everingham Brothers, unfortunately, it's going to be while you're gone, but Corey will be here. We're going to have one of their main guys that runs the boat and catches the bait for you coming up on. Let's see. Let me get the
Dude, I am
schedule
so
here.
bummed that's on the day that I'm gone. You're kidding
Yeah, but you're
me.
going to be in Hawaii.
Oh, that's
really
that's
but
rough.
it's Joey.
Yeah.
Who runs? I believe it's the EPCO or
Cool.
or one of their boats. So it'll be my Joey Neves from Everingham. Thanks to Brian Kilhara for lining me up with Joey, making that happen. But that's going to be a great show. That's going to be on Saturday, the 19th of April. We have some great shows coming up here. And next Sunday for Day at the Docks, the one and only Steve Carson will be here in the studio with me. That's going to be so cool. We'll have some special guests popping in and out too. But Day at the Docks, 1 week from tomorrow, Sunday the 13th. And you have a good text.
Yeah, I thought so. This is from Brian. He said, hey, this is Brian from Dana Point. I tried for 2 years to get on the Searcher Ultra Limited Load trip, and last year in June was my first time for my birthday. We had an absolute blast. Can't recommend enough. My question is for Mike and for Rachel. Would it ever be possible to see a 10-day ultra limited load in the future?
Possibly. I know the boat used to do. Short answer, yes.
Is there any difference in where you go on an 8-day versus a 10-day, or is it just the same thing but you get extra fishing time?
I know like the 10 days typically go further down and fish the lower banks, fish that big yellowfin, like those guys were last year, and more fishing time. You know, the way that fishing was this year, though, 10 days is too many days.
Yeah,
you know?
right. With that crazy yellowfin fishing,
it's too much time on
Go whale watching or something. Like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's funny. Like I say, so many people have kudos for you guys, and you're just obviously doing such a great job. Jim in Morro Bay writes, says, hi, Captain Mike and crew. I've enjoyed 3 trips on the Searcher, mostly due to the captains and the crew. You guys really work your butts off and get us on the fish, and all the deckhands are very knowledgeable and willing to help, especially when somebody is struggling to get bit. Sean was so helpful to me when I got out and helped me get out of my slump. The food on the Searcher is excellent. While waiting to board the boat, the staff came out, greeted everyone with an ice cream bar. Oh boy, as a treat. I didn't expect. Looking forward to my 8-day trip in the future. So that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of a nice little treat. Bring out ice cream bars for everybody. Yeah, that's kind of fun.
I dig it. And I really dig, I thought, just all the little touches that you guys seem to do go such a long way. I thought the payment thing was killer. And I'm with Pete, man. It seemed like every other text we had was just, I'm going again. Can't wait to see you. You have a real cool family that comes fishing on board that Searcher.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool. A lot of dedicated people. But if you haven't tried the Searcher, obviously it's popular. So try it. How do we do that, Rachel? How do we get on just check out the availability on the website?
Yes, you can go to the website, searchersportfishing.com, or you can call the office.
And they'll talk to you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
what's the number?
619-226-2403.
All right. Mentioned Day at the Docks once again. Rollo will have the grand raffle going on
which is, of course, the big deal. But they're also going to have the big, giant used tackle sale for all. This is all the tackle that's been collected over the last year will be on sale at Day at the Docks 1 week from tomorrow, Sunday, the 13th. And that's going to be a great day. So they're also going to be having the bats and rod giveaway, $10 raffle tickets, giving away a ton of great stuff. Oh, look, Wyatt's in the studio. Say hi to the camera, Wyatt. Wyatt Maxa is here. But yeah, Sunday, Day at the Docks, big day. A lot going on with
so
Rollo,
much fun. Yeah,
it's going to be fun for sure. It's going to be good. Lots of good stuff there. And of course, when we come back, maybe we'll have Wyatt flip the coin, give away things. And stay tuned. More Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live. We'll be right back.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. Spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at royalstarsportfishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
A top fleet and superb fishing is what Seaforth Sport Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, it's no wonder Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limit, Elgato Dos, Pride, Tribute Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or regular open parties, schedule check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
Captain Jamie Tennis from Seasoned Sport Fishing here. For the past few seasons, a dart-styled metal jig has come into play in a big way for tuna offshore or even rockfish down deep. AFCO's crossbreed jig has quickly become the go-to for many since it came onto the market. AFCO's crossbreed jig is good to go right out of the package with a 4X treble hook, heavy-duty split rings, West Coast colors, and sizes 60 gram to 120 gram. Pick one up today at your local tackle store or learn more on afco.com.
Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. FishDope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Catine, 365 days a year. FishDope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have FishDope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
You know, whether you're going fishing, diving, or just having fun on the water, there's nothing more worth doing than messing around in boats. So let me ask you, are you ready to upgrade your ride? Boat and Motor Mart of Oakland is your exclusive Western U.S. dealer for Steiger Craft. Created for inshore and offshore waters and laid out with the serious fisherman in mind, Steiger Craft has built a solid reputation for performance and excellent rough water handling. If adventure on the water is what you live for, now's the time to invest in your passion. Call Boat and Motor Mart of Oakland at 510-437-1444. To look at the whole fleet of Steiger Craft online, go to steigercraft.com. Now's the time for a rugged, reliable, and fast Steiger Craft from Boat and Motor Mart of Oakland.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookups. Time to find out who's got themselves that killer pack of Osea sardine waiver jigs. And Rachel's going to do us the honor, flipping the prize coin. Okay. All right. Today we have a caller. Congratulations, Dawn in Woodland Hills. You got yourself a full new tackle pack to go on your next trip on the Searcher. It sounds like you got a bunch stacked up. So you got something new to use.
The Shimano Osea slow pitch jigs. Congratulations. It's Team Searcher. Josh, Mike, obviously, and Rachel, you guys do such a great job. So many kudos and great show. If somebody wants to ride on the Searcher, Rachel, how do we do it?
They can go onto our website and look at our open trips. If there's a trip they're interested in, they can sign up on the website, or they can call the office at 619-226-2403.
All right, very good. And there's availability, believe it or not, on the 2-day Let's Talk Hookup trip is booked.
Yes.
But the you can always get on a waiting list if you want.
Yes.
But there's some spots left on the day and a half in September 10th, which is a prime time for a day and a half, right?
Yes.
There's spots left on that.
Yes, we have 5 spots.
So so what's the story on the boat leaves at like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, something like that?
No, no, leave about 5 or 6 in the evening, and then then fish the next day, and then return at 5 or 6 in the morning next.
All right.
Full sun up to sundown fishing.
That's pretty cool. Well, hey, great. Thanks, guys, for being in here. Hey, thank you to Adam for all he does on the Let's Talk Hookup. Thanks to you out there for joining us here. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m. Captain Cameron Cribben from the Mission Bell will be here. Thanks for listening today. We'll see you tomorrow morning right back here on the YouTube, Facebook Live, Let's Talk Hookup app, and 97.3 The Fan.